So imagine this, you are a respected Islamic writer, you have translated the volumes of the Quranic commentary, written over 70 books, build an entire Dawah website, then you sit down to film 2 hours video about David Wood. That's Jalal Abualrub. Heard of him? Don't worry if you haven't. He's basically the Salafi version of Stephen King, just with more footnotes and fewer horror stories. Actually, never mind, maybe same number of the horror stories.
This is Jalal Abualrub, Jalalabualrub. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the praised, the honored, blessed me and my family to produce more than 70 Islamic books so far, thousands of articles about Islam. Today, inshallah, Allah willing, we'll talk about a unique topic. Yasir Qadhi, the gift that keeps giving. These are not my words, the words of David Wood. Who is David Wood? An evangelist who spends his time attacking Islam, mocking the Prophet of Islam, slandering the Prophet of Islam, and saying all kinds of things about Islamic law. And I've debated him before.
Oh no, not him. And an evangelist who critiques Islam? This is the part where I pretend to be shocked. Apparently Jalal wrote whole book titled
the title is How Prophet Muhammad Legislated, a response to David Wood.
So, he's not a just YouTuber, he's not just an evangelist, he is canon, he is hadith worthy. Someone get him a turban and camel. He has made into the Islamic studies. This is how Jalal introduces David. Like his unveiling comic book from William. Forget academic rebuttal. This is Islamic YouTube extended cut featuring David Wood's greatest hits.
We have the book about David Wood. I have a book coming about Rizvan Aydemir.
Yes, you heard it right. Jalal has an entire book about David Wood and another one on pipeline about apostate prophet. This isn't rebuttal. This is just a fan series.
So what did David Wood say about Yasir Qadhi? In the book and on my Facebook page, the link will be below this video, inshallah, you will find a unique picture for David Wood taken from a video that he quickly deleted, showing him wearing the nightgown of his wife. So I titled my response to him, The Unpretty Evangelist in his wife's nightgown, because he claimed Prophet Muhammad wore women's clothing.
So think about it. The man translated Quranic tafsir, and now he's naming a book like rejected fashion blog posts, The Unpretty Evangelist. Jalal, come on. That sounds like an indie band from Istanbul.
Who's David Wood? David Wood is a strange fellow. He's a doctor and something, not a physician. Anyway.
Yes, Jalal. He has a PhD. It's in philosophy, you know, the thing that involves using reasoning, arguments, and evidence. Stuff you should try sometimes. Maybe you are not too busy analyzing PJs.
So he wore his wife's nightgown, dishonored himself, then he removed it quickly. But I have a picture for him wearing her nightgown and maybe his necklace, her necklace, his wife's nightgown and her necklace. He doesn't look pretty, really. And
this is very creepy. A man who has written over 70 books, build a Dawah website, has a picture of David Wood on woman's dress. It's all over internet. You can just go and check it. Why would you save that? That's very creepy. Or maybe you might be thinking this might lead to some romantic things. I don't know. Let's be honest. If you have paused a comedy sketch, screenshotted a phrase frame, and are now doing wardrobe analysis, congratulations, you are no longer debater. Why are you even identified as scholar and then introducing yourself a man who wrote 70 books? You are cosplaying as a tabloid.
David Wood says, Sheikh Yasser Qadi is the gift that keeps giving.
Correction. You are the gift that keeps giving. Because you just gave David Wood more material than he could ever ask for, wrapped in a 2 hours night dress themed TED Talk.
Because when Yasser Qadi comes up with that one, he will expose himself to the Muslims who are still listening to him, and I have no idea why. So, I have a gift for David Wood.
Is it another video? Another screenshot? Or is it a perfume that labeled as Quranic reputations? No, it's just another long-winded rant about holes in the narrative, and somehow it still circulates back to PJs.
Now he's admitting that from an academic perspective, hadith methodology is a complete joke. That's David Wood's conclusion. What Yasser Qadi actually said is worse than David Wood saying that Yasser Qadi proved that it is a complete joke about the hadith. Years ago, he obliterated the myth of the perfect preservation of the Quran. He says here in the infamous Holes in the Narrative interview. Now he's sorry, my asthma. So be patient. This is very important. Now he's admitting that from an academic perspective, hadith methodology is a complete joke. David Wood, talking about Yasser Qadi, saying the truth. So Yasser Qadi, the challenge is on you. David Wood, the joke is on you. Your book, the joke is on you, David Wood, and your likes, you can't prove anything in your book. Nothing.
Well, Jalal, you might want to look what you have just produced. You spent over 2 hours, multiple books, and slideshows to argue with a guy who, by your own words,
A strange fellow. He's a doctor and something, not a physician. Anyway.
So if the joke is on him, why are you working this hard? Look, if your response to the criticism is, here is a picture of you in a robe, you might be losing the debate. And if you wrote 70 books to just land on Unpretty Evangelist as your big fish, you didn't win. You logged on.